calling Monica Lennon to wind up. 5 minutes, please. I'm sorry. Labour.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. There is a simple choice before us today. Support the Labour motion to keep the University Hospital Monklands in the Monklands community, or support the SNP amendment, which does leave the door open to take the hospital out of the Monklands community. I think we all need to understand that. Scottish Labour is clear in welcoming investment in a new state-of-the-art hospital for Monklands, and we will fight to keep the Monklands in the Monklands community. So what an utter disgrace it is, hold on, it's an utter disgrace that Fulton McGregor, the SNP MSP for Coatbridge and Christon, has described this endeavour as shallow. He may have grown up next to the Monklands Hospital, but I think after today he'll find it hard to look his neighbours in the eye, because we've heard that the public consultation process has been farcical. It's been heavily criticised by my good friend Alec Neil, who says that it has led to a stupid decision to make Gartcosh the preferred site. I'm happy to let Fulton McGregor in at that point.
Mr McGregor.
I described the motion as shallow because there was nothing to it. The government motion has got a lot more to it, and you should be supporting that.
Ms Lennon.
I think we've heard enough, but I'll repeat again that the motion is simple. The motion is to keep the Monklands in the Monklands. Briefly, because I'll have to make some progress.
You've got to be called. Mr Briggs, hold your horses. You've got to be called first. Mr Briggs.
Thank you, Deputy Presiding Officer. I think this is where we think Labour are actually confused today, because are you saying the only option is to rebuild on the current site? That's your policy, given the fact that we've just had a consultation on lots of other opportunities and parties
That's
are bringing
too long
that
an
forward.
intervention, sorry. Ms Lennon.
Right, I want to make some progress. We've said enough about the consultation. I think the Minister's got plenty of notes to take away. But in some serious points, moving the hospital away from Monklands out to Gartcosh will increase travel costs for many staff who live in the local area, especially those who are on the lowest wages. And Alison Johnson, I think, helpfully set out that in general terms in Scotland, we have inadequate levels of public transport. And she also talked about the downside of longer patient journeys. These are fundamental issues. There's nothing in the proposals to move the hospital to Gartcosh that would improve accessibility and journey times for patients. Alex Cole-Hamilton made some really good points when he talked about hospitals being central to the fabric of communities. And what looks good on plan isn't always best for the people in the area. So this is not a paper exercise. We can't afford to get this wrong. I support the Scottish Government's principles on town centre first. I hope the Scottish Government won't abandon those principles over the Monklands. And if the flagship Queen Elizabeth Southern General University Hospital can be built on the site of the former Southern General in Glasgow, why isn't it possible to build a new Monklands at the Monklands site? Rebuilding on the same site is not without its challenges, but it is entirely possible because we have the expertise and design teams here in Scotland to deliver state-of-the-art hospitals. There's no reason why we can't achieve that in the Monklands. A lot of attention has been given to the cost savings which could be gained from rebuilding on a new site at Gartcosh, but not enough focus has been given to what would be lost by leaving the Monklands. Elaine Smith already mentioned the Maggie Centre and the Lanarkshire Beatson, for example, both state-of-the-art facilities less than 5 years old and which cost tens of millions of pounds and are co-located there. What about these facilities? And we've heard a lot about health inequality, and that's important because in Monklands we've got high levels of deprivation and some of the worst health inequalities and low levels of car ownership. Moving the hospital out of the Monklands will only make this worse. The long-term advantage of the hospital remaining in the Monklands are significant, and they haven't been adequately reflected in the benefits and financial analysis. In conclusion, Presiding Officer, we are forced to bring this motion to Parliament today to speak out against the decision to move the Monklands out of the Monklands, the ramifications of which would be felt for years to come, amid deep concerns and public criticism on where the hospital should be built. The choice before the Parliament today is clear. We either give support to the decision to move the Monklands Hospital out of the community for decades, or we can give an unwavering commitment to the people of Lanarkshire that the current hospital should remain in the community where it belongs, and that means keeping the Monklands in the Monklands area.
Thank you.